Hello, I'm Steven with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca. So today I'm going to do kind of some odds and sods around my indoor growing area, and I wanted to take you along for the ride. So the first thing that we're doing is these are my habanero peppers. The plants are now, they still look kind of small, but they were fairly root bound. And I think giving them a new home and uppotting them will allow them to start to really flourish in here. Sorry for the mess, I just finished uppotting. I wanted to show you the fertilizer I use. It's just a general 222 all organic fertilizer, and it's a liquid based fertilizer, which is fast acting. So I do fertilize about once a week, nice and light. This is a fast acting liquid fertilizer. I chose a 222 because in here in the growing room I don't really need anything but good lush growth and generally balanced growth, because I'm not trying to get fruit or anything in here. So I pretty well fertilize everything once a week with this. So what I have here is my water. Now I put this in my watering can over a day ago, and what that allows you to do is to allow the chlorine. Sorry, haven't had enough coffee this morning. Unlike Brock on his channel, I don't have a beer this morning. I have a coffee. Ray would be proud of me. So I've let the chlorine flash off of this water. So all I do is, right now there's a little bit of a plug at the bottom of the pump. The pump works fairly well when there's no plug on there. All I do is I just take that lightly, do a little bit of mix around, and that's that. This should last me all year, and for the price that I got it on sale at the end of the growing season, well worth the cost. So you gotta be careful that you don't overwater them when you're growing inside. It's not like outside where plants really require a lot of water, and if you overwater it, it's not that big of a deal. In the house, you got to really pay attention to how much you're actually watering these plants, because you can end up with mold and other problems that you don't typically find outside. You really don't want to encourage, any of the pests that come along with those problems. So once they get into your grow space, they take a long time to get out. On a quick note, here's lettuce. It's doing well. Just plopped it right between the grow columns. And I wanted to show you this. These are my goji berries. They sprouted in just the loose soil first, so I've got 3. No true leaves yet, but they're doing fairly well, so I'm going to put these back underneath the lights. And as we're doing kind of a show and tell, this is one of my mango beets. Looks kind of, well, mango. Got some true leaves on here. They're nice and plump and rigid. They're doing quite well. This is my other container of mango beets. They seem to have stretched a little bit and run a little bit. I mean, they're right close. The leaves are doing fairly well, so I'm going to continue. I very much doubt that I'm going to get the biggest beets around, but hey, that's what the fun of the competition is for. And I'd like to thank Ronnie for starting this one off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually start the pruning on my Super Hungarian hot peppers. I'm going to prune it the way that Mr. Praxis has shown, and see if we can get it to work. So why don't you come in on closer, and we'll prune the first one up together. So this is my Super Hungarian hot. It's doing quite well in the grow room. It's growing up quite a bit, and we've got it basically growing straight into the lights. They run cool, so it's perfectly fine to do that. I wanted to show you how I'm going to try to prune this guy. This is my first attempt at making pepper bushes, but I think I've got a couple of tips that might be helpful if you're going to try this at home. As you can see on my pepper plant here, those are flower nodules, so that's where the fruit will come out. This is my indicator, and this is what I'm going to try to do, is to prevent these from going. I mean, I've gotten fruit in the past in my grow room on peppers, but really my purpose with these peppers is to get them nice and healthy and big and bushy, so that when I go out in my short growing season up here in zone 3A, they've got the best chance to make a huge load. Instead of getting 1 or 2 peppers, which will really drain the plant inside, I want to get hundreds in the summer. And this is where I'm going to prune it. You'll see right here, these are the beginning of new stalks, new branches. This particular one will bush out itself, but I really want to force the issue so that this trunk gets nice and strong, can hold all the fruit, but we also end up with 2 new growing tips. I might leave this one as well, a 3rd growing tip, so that it's nice and low to the ground, and it can support the fruit when we get it outside, because we do have some pretty nasty winds here, and I want it to support the fruit instead of getting just torn apart. So we had transplanted this about 2 weeks ago, and as soon as we transplanted it, it took off. This is what we got in this new pot. It really enjoyed the new pot, and with that light organic fertilizer, is doing well. So this is going to seem super drastic, but I'm going to go just above those 2 nodules that I showed you, and clip. Done. Too late now. It looks drastic, but I'm hoping that it will yield a nice bushy pepper plant. So I'm gonna fertilize this again with my light organic fertilizer. I'm gonna put it as close as I can to the grow lights, and hopefully we end up spurring this to grow out of those two tips. So we're going to put that back, and we're going to do it to the rest of them. So I'm going to keep one of my peppers as without pruning it. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the flower nodule off, because I really don't want these things to flower in the house. I think what we'll find is it'll be a much healthier plant if you end up pruning it down. So I've placed the pepper right back in here, made sure that my habaneros are as close to the light to keep the canopy roughly on the same level. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to clean up my tomato here. The bottom leaves are a little bit more prone to grabbing up some blight or some problems, so I'm just going to clip them off and keep that nice and clear so we can get good airflow. There's enough vegetation on top that it shouldn't be a problem. Thank you very much for joining me, and have a great day.